you're not letting me put it out.
Exactly.
That's what drives me mental. And everyone who does is punished. But sorry, just to go back to the fire. Okay, so pornography, yeah, that's a great theory that it makes men, these millennial men especially, they're too lazy to get off the couch because they just jerk off to some stranger they'll never meet, which is pathetic. You should be embarrassed of that.
Exactly.
And they don't go out. They don't get pussy. They have no inclination. When women do their usual games where they're like, yeah, you wish, they're like, okay, bye. And the woman goes, no, it's kind of a bluff thing. We've been doing it for thousands of years. Yeah. It's in every ballet where the guy's like doodle-doodle, and she's like doodle-doodle, and he's doodle-doodle.
They're changing ballet though. They're changing ballet. They're even making ballet not like that. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, like birds do it for fuck's sake.
I know.
Like, boo-boo, and she's like, I don't think so, and maybe. So they take all that away. That's what pornography does, because men just go, oh, I'll just rub one out. And especially if I might be known as a rapist, if I don't want you to become another mattress girl. So they give up that way. And I think men, when they're in the doghouse in a marriage, they just go, oh, fine, I'll sleep on the couch and beat off. Fuck you. I read recently it led to 500,000 divorces. And when men finally do end up with a woman, millennial men on a date, it's like, all right, I'm going to skull fuck you and then throw you in the garbage because that's my sexual vocabulary now. Like, there's no intimacy anymore. In fact, I heard recently that millennial women are having a real problem with muscle retention in their anus. We are having distended ani in 20-year-old girls because they're getting banged in the ass so much because that's the culture.
And see, this is the thing. This is why E. Michael Jones has made me respect Catholicism again. Because I was raised Catholic, and it finally dawned on me why I developed such a loathing for Catholicism is because they weren't strict enough. After the 60s, when the clergy got sexualized and they got real hip to freaking birth control and stuff, it almost like agnostic hedonism was almost more logical than the half-truth they were pitching. And so what you brought up about birth control, it's like you got to go the full deal or nothing, or else you can't really criticize sodomy if you say that you should sterilize your woman's womb so you can get off. Like, you literally have to keep the Catholic doctrine, like, legit, and then you keep your strength. But this whole, Pope wanting open borders and being cool with sodomy and shit, it's like, that is what turns off young males to Catholicism. They need more... strictness. They need more logical consistency, and then I think the church would actually do a lot better.
Well, let's separate the two, because I really want to get into birth control. But with birth control, it's just a theory I have. With pornography, I'm positive. And the other thing about pornography with is treating women like colostomy bags for every stranger's cum that gets a call at 4 a.m. and then gets asked to leave before work 3 hours later. They developed this animosity. And you look at a lot of these blogs, like the woman who outed Pamela Geller's kids and basically threatened their lives. You just think, how did you get so vindictive? How did you get so cruel? And it's because not only do I not have my own kids and my job is fake and I write about bullshit, but I've been treated like a whore my entire adult life, and I have resentment for. I've never been cuddled. I never got flowers.
Yeah, because so much of Hollywood, when they're talking about rape, and at first I was like, these people need to shut the fuck up, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I've lived in Hollywood. These women really are treated with like a soft rape all the time, where it's like women like strong men and they get hijacked very easily, and so. They're just going from one celebrity to a producer to a director to a writer. And yeah, I mean, their ambition is part of it and all that. But at the same time, they're constantly being treated like they're just treated like just awfully. And I'm not a white knight. I'm not being a white knight by this. I'm not being like, oh, we must protect the whore actresses. But like literally, these women are speaking from a position of like Harvey Weinstein jerked off on them while they were sleeping. So it's like in their mind, they're like, men are rapists, when all the good men they never meet because they're in these worlds of hell. And then, Manhattan has the same shit where all these social circles is just like you up, and then they get fucked. And they pretend like they like it because that's feminism. And then they get the abortion because that's feminism. And then they're broken inside, and then they project that brokenness on everybody else. And they have a blog that 1 million people read, and before you know it, me and Gavin Mcinnes aren't allowed on YouTube.
But there is a degree of complicity in all this.
I know, but
and
women are complicit. Like they can't help themselves. That's why they like Islam.
It's the land of broken whores.
I know.
And it's sort of like the illegals crossing the border. 80% of them get raped crossing the border, to the point where that's just part of the deal. And they take birth control and other preventative medicine, I guess, to avoid STDs as they cross the border, because they know among the litany of bummers with the thing, you're going to be really thirsty, it gets hot in the desert, and you're going to get raped. That's just a thing that happens. Why are you bringing your kids, by the way, on a rape excursion? But anyway, it's this sort of sad malevolence of that's just going to happen, and you see that in Hollywood where these women go, I sucked my way into this job, and there's the ones who cry themselves to sleep at night, but there's the other ones who go, that's the game. Like, I was at a hotel one of the first times I went to LA. It was with Vice, and I was with Shane Smith, the guy we started with, and this pretty girl with nice tits came over to us when we were by the hotel pool, and she said, what do you guys do? Are you producers or something? And she was being really friendly. I made up some stupid joke because I didn't quite get where she was coming from. And I said that we're superheroes and we're just on a day off. And if you're in trouble, I don't want to hear about it. We're people too. And I gave her this fake superhero lecture about how can we just sit by the fucking pool without someone asking us to go rescue a cat in a tree. It was just a dumb tangent. And I didn't realize till a few days later, wait a minute. She wanted us to take her to her hotel room and bang her on the off chance we're producers, and then on the off chance that will lead to work somewhere down the line. I inadvertently stumbled into a wandering prostitute and didn't realize until days after she had left what had just happened. And you think these women who do that, I mean, aren't they kind of perpetuating it a little bit? Like even if you accept a payout, aren't you saying I'm an expensive prostitute and I'm okay with this guy doing it to the next girl?
Yeah, but women are naturally more hijackable than men. That's why you'll see these feminist marchers fine with like Islam. It's weird. They have this weird Achilles heel to just like psychotic strength. Like women, I think, to survive.
They have an agreeable personality.
What's that?
They in their room, and they have an agreeable personality.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson talks about the agreeable personality, and I think it's true. And some women have it to a fault, where they're just like, "Oh, what, you hate Israel? Yeah, I'm an anti-Semite. Oh, you love Israel? Yeah, I'm a Zionist." And they're just like, "Do anyone's dog for a bone."
Oh, totally. Just look at voting patterns of single women versus married women. It's like, single women, it's like 80% Democrat. Married women, it's like 80% Republican. It's like they go with
Trudeau because he's a gorgeous hunk. That's it.
Right. They'll just go with whatever their whore friends are telling them, and then once they're married, it's not like they always go that direction. Like they'll still like do their own thing, but they're more likely to be swayed by their dude.
And they become pro-life too when they have kids. When they have stake in the game, when they push one out, they go, "Holy shit, this is actually a big deal." But wait, one thing I don't want to gloss over. Okay, I'm going to sound Alex Jonesy. I'm going to sound Owen Benjamin-y. This is going to sound cuckoo, but this is my theory. So I think the argument for pornography causing this mess is just as good as the argument that it's birth control for a number of reasons. One, when you give a woman birth control, her body inadvertently simulates the first trimester of pregnancy. And the body thinks it's pregnant. Now, when a woman's pregnant, nature has designed her to not be looking for alpha males that are going to fuck her. She's already fucked.
Right.
No, I don't want any fucking. I want like a brother, a nice guy who's going to be around me, who's not sexual, who's not a threat, but will protect me and be nice. I'm looking for, how women buy lots of pillows when they're pregnant? Yeah. They're the same with men. They want a bunch of pillow men. So they start attracting or looking for or only tolerating pussies.
Bro, and that's 100% true.
And dog for a bone. If women were into clowns, you and I would have red noses on and be like, "Hello, bonk, 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 bonk."
Bro, this is so true.
We don't care.
By the way, when you say you sound Alex Jonesy or Owen Benjamin-y, do you mean accurate? Okay, go on.
I knew you'd let that go. And so they end up attracting these wimpy men, and then they stay with these wimpy men for a while, and then they're not happy. because they didn't get the man they wanted. I remember being an anarchist in the late '80s, and we go to these anarchist gatherings, and there was this chick Penny who had dreads, and she was like the queen of the anarchist feminists. And we all thought she was so cool, and we'd be there as allies, for the cause. And then at the end of the conference or whatever, the workshop, some biker from Rock Machine, that was the name of the gang in Quebec, would show up, and she'd just jump on the back of his motorbike and disappear off in the sunset. And we're like, wait a minute. That guy's an asshole. He's a tough guy. He doesn't care about your politics. And that's because she wants to get fucked by a real man.
Dude,
and these women with this birth control, they end up with this pussy man, and they start resenting him. They're like, why am I with this fat piece of shit with a beard who likes Ani DeFranco? What have I done? And then she just starts resenting alpha males. That's why I think the Proud Boys get it so bad. And then those two breed. And they make a pussy because it's a wimpy man and a woman who's unhappy, or her happiness doesn't matter in genetics. And they make this wimpy, sad little pussy man. So that's how you get like Ezra Klein and Vox and Huffington Post and what's his name, Jordan Peretti. You end up with these pussy men from, I think it's arguably birth control.
Dude, that's so true, man, because women they want an alpha when they're fertile. And then, like just a beta, I guess, when they're not. It's like every one of their movies is based on that. You got Jacob and who's the other one? And Twilight. You got two gay guys fighting over a girl with autism in the woods. I did a bit about that. But you got the shirtless wolf to impregnate her, and then you got the gay vampire to talk to her. Every like female romance thing has like the jawline legend. And then they have the other guy that just wants to talk, and that's based on their actual cycle. Like when they're ovulating, they want good genes, and the rest of the time they want a guy to not kill them. And
look at the men that are popular now. You got Paul Rudd. He's a woman's brother. He acts like your brother.
He's like 5'2".
Steve Carell. He's a brother. Judd Apatow is a brother. And I don't mean a black guy. Judd Apatow is not going to take a woman in the closet at a party and, put out her fire.
No.
These guys are not like dangerous. They're your brother. They're safe. They're soft. They're pillow men. And you know another thing, by the way, we're killing women's senses, and they're ending up with a man that they don't really want. I also read that with birth control, it kills when a woman is ovulating, her sense of smell is increased. And that might have some sort of, even a safety measure where you can sort of like, this guy's probably going to rape me. I got bad vibes about this guy. You know how much of us are pheromones and all these smells, and how a woman can meet a guy within 6 seconds. She's like, nah, something's not right. And that could be related to scent. And when a woman is on birth control, that extra instinct is gone. So now when she should be extra sensible and extra sensory, we've killed that with our pharmaceuticals, and she's just like, yeah, sure, Judd Apatow, you can fuck me. Let's go.
100%.
Wow.
Dude, we're limiting a woman's ability to protect themselves in the name of feminism. By we, I mean not me and you, but like, it's like single mothers having abortions, or just like single chicks in little fucking, little cubicles. I was telling that to my wife. I think I might have said it on the stream, but like, I would kill, die, live for my wife, my mother, any daughter I have in the future. What boss at your marketing internship would kill, live, or die for you? None. You're all alone in the world, and that's why families protect women and scents protect women, and being off hormones. Dude, that theory you just spit out is fucking gold, man. Everybody in the chat's like, Gavin gets it. These guys get it. Everyone's spitting knowledge. Dude, this is my burner account, by the way, and we already have 1,800 people listening. Normally it's like 5,000 or 6,000, but like I'm not allowed to live stream on the other one. So this is like my drug dealer burner account, and it's already at almost 2,000. Then I'm going to upload it on the other one. They can't stop the good shit.
Well, they keep making us more valuable to the underground. They keep making us cooler. It's frustrating because I'd like to retire, but the more they try to push us out, the more people. I mean, I've had like 5,000 people donate to defendgavin.com, and I think it's because they know that to let the gremlins take over and censor everyone is right. And I think they're starting to see our logic. Like we say that college is a waste of time, and they look at their own debts. and they see $250,000 for nothing. Or we say feminism is the best thing that ever happened to sexists, and they see their miserable cat mom sister who's getting fucked at 4 a.m. and cries herself to sleep at night when she isn't. And the little sister is going, yeah, I think those guys have a point. This sort of, I'm a badass single woman and I'm 40 in New York City and I get fucked sometimes by a guy who's no one else is answering the phone. And I think rocks.
I know.
I love it, right for salon.
And they fucking act like dudes like us are saying this shit to like benefit our career up top. It's like, no, it's true. And the more you go down our road, the more you realize that, you know, our batting percentage is pretty fucking high. Yeah, how is the Defend Gavin? I promoted that when that first happened. So what's going on with all that stuff? Fill us in.
Well, it's slow moving, right? It's lawfare. It's litigious behavior. They asked for a suspension of. They asked for a delay of 60 days. First of all, they said it's frivolous. You can tell that we're awesome because losers like Gavin hate us. And then they said we need 60 days. Why do you need 60 days if this case is so frivolous? And then we started seeing the SPLC fall apart. Morris Dees just got fired. Now, Morris Dees was the founder, and he's the guy who started the whole fundraising thing.
Yeah.
And started realizing that after you're done fighting the KKK, if you just call everyone the KKK, you can raise a lot of money. And then time went on, and it turns out this guy was always suspicious. Like I heard in his divorce proceedings something about like pushing a vibrator on his stepdaughter, like buying it for her or trying to use it on her. I can't remember what.
Yep.
But disgusting shit like that. And now we're learning that it's a really racist, sexist place to work where black employees don't get paid the same as white employees. And I think there's some Me Too shit happening. But so the whole SPLC seems to be deteriorating, but I think it's worth $1 billion. They're worth well over $500 million on the books, and they have accounts in the Cayman Islands, so they're worth a lot more than that. And so even though they're falling apart, and even though there's these lawsuits, and I'm one of many now, there's at least 5 going on simultaneously right now. There's still a lot of money there, and there's still, more importantly, a lot of discovery. I want to see these emails. I want to see them saying to Jack, get rid of this guy, shadow ban this guy. Because they've got so much to say about hate, but nothing to say about jihad. And I think the American public needs to know how much influence these busybody bitches at the SPLC have on what we read and hear and what we say to each other. They're controlling the conversation right now. That's the spooky part.
Yeah, and I am starting to, think about a lawsuit myself for discovery and just to take a bite out of crime. But because
I don't care I couldn't care less about that. I'm doing okay for money. What I care about is getting everyone else to understand the truth because
exactly, me
people
too. Yeah,
are curious and they're lazy about stuff like this. This will bore you, but allow me to tell this one.
No, this is fascinating. I love it.
I'm at a local bar. This is probably 6 months ago, and I was day drinking, and the wine salesman comes in, and he's got all these different boxes of wines, and he says, "Oh, this is a South African company, the South African wine that's getting pretty popular." And the bartender says, "No, thanks. I don't want any wines from South Africa." Now, the guy's a salesman, so he's like, "Okay," and he just puts the box down, and I thought, this guy, this bartender, was basing his view on South Africa, obviously from apartheid. So we're talking about pre-1983 South Africa. Since then, it's just become a shithole war zone where white farmers are getting massacred. But I'm not saying he has to care about that. But this guy was so incurious, so intellectually lazy that he saw South Africa. He hadn't updated his South Africa file in over a quarter century.
Yeah.
So that's what's frustrating about all this stuff is the SPLC, all smart, not smart, I shouldn't say smart, but all informed, curious people know the SPLC is a joke. Yet everything you read about Proud Boys or anyone else has been vilified by the SPLC, they go, and they're a hate group according to the SPLC. It's like polygraphs. Everyone knows, or everyone curious knows, that those have been refuted. Doug Williams went to jail for 2 years for pointing out that they're a lie. But you still see people saying, I'll take a lie detector test. Oh, bring a polygraph. They're bullshit. And it's so hard to know all this stuff and have everyone else go, no, they're a hate group, but yeah, the lie detector and all these antiquated myths that sometimes you go, can I just lock Earth into a room and update them on everything? You need a system update.
That's so true, man. There's so many conversations I have with people where they're not even close to understanding the like what actually is happening, to the point where I just tap out. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, 97% of climate scientists agree. Like, it's not even close, to the point where you're like, man, the narrative has so much power, and a lot of it is so bureaucratic and slow moving and just gross.
Or the hate crimes are on the rise. FBI has reported it's up 180%. First of all, as a normal, curious person, the number 180% should make you scratch your head. Really? In 1 year, it went up 180%? No. Yes, the FBI said that. They're talking about reported hate crimes. There's more groups reporting these things than ever because it's big business, so that means there's going to be more reports. B, they're including hoaxes. They're including that Israeli teenager with mental problems who called like 50 synagogues and then was arrested for it. They're including all of that shit. Hate is not on the rise. Hate crimes are not on the rise. That FBI statistic is bullshit.
Oh, I know. It's kind of like when Obama made mass shootings 3. He went from like 5 to 3 to jack everything, and like gun crimes include suicides, and it's just so manipulative. And when you know this stuff and you see this, it's the same with like like hate crimes, like 40 total. It's like you're more likely to die. You're like, I don't know, 800 times more likely to die from the bike in your garage. You know, it's like these aren't valid threats. And just like what you're finding with the SPLC, they're motivated. It's profit motivated. So you have a group that fights the KKK, and everyone's like, you're the best. What's up next? And they're like, that guy. You know?
You're like, wait, you mean me? Me? But another thing that liberals don't get is anecdotal evidence. So what you just said about the odds of you, excuse me, the odds of you being hurt are infinitesimally smaller than that. That's true of Islamic terrorism in America, at least. The odds of you being killed by your furniture are higher, much higher, 60 times higher, I believe, than being killed by a Muslim. Or another thing they say is being killed by a redneck is as bad as is as common as being killed by Islamicists. Muslims are something like 1% of the population. So the fact that they are in the same number as these so-called rednecks, which to you, when you say punch a Nazi, you mean 50% of the population. So 1% does the same number of dangerous crimes than 50%. And the other thing with jihadists is, yes, furniture is more dangerous. Furniture is everywhere, by the way. Furniture is more dangerous. But I've noticed a disproportionate number of issues with Muslims than I have with Christians and Sikhs and others. Sure, 90% of mass shootings are still a suicidal person who wants to maximize the impact, so he goes to a gun-free zone and he gets the most. That's why they go to Sandy Hook and they kill kids, because it gets the most news, it's the biggest event, it's someone who wants to go out with a big bang. But when you look at the relatively small percent of ones who had political or religious reasons, a giant proportion of those are Muslims. So all we're saying here in America is, no, it's not a big issue. The odds of an air conditioner falling on my head are probably higher. Definitely a car accident is higher. But I'm noticing a pattern, and I'm dubious of it growing, because I saw what happened in Britain, I saw what happened in Germany, and I don't want that happening here.
100%,
25% of Muslim men, young Muslim men, think suicide bombing is sometimes or often justified. You don't get those kind of numbers with Buddhists and Christians and Sikhs and Hindus. So can we at least acknowledge it, maybe?
Yeah, and also for America, though, one of the biggest groups is black males 15 to 30. It's like, if you want to talk about violent murders, that's off the chains. I just think the biggest threat to me is Jewish snark, just snarkiness. When they just go, really? Are you serious? That, to me, is way worse than Islamic terrorism. I just can't stand when Ben Shapiro goes, really?
I've never had a problem. I've never been called racist by a black person. All my enemies are rich white people. The proportion is Jewish, but a lot of them are wasps.
Yeah.
And it's this ethno-masochism. There's something about Westerners
Well,
where
wasps, yeah, wasps. Well, they didn't fuck to say they're like panda bears. You know, like the worst people were like the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the fucking who is that guy? Rhodes, all these guys, and then they didn't have replacement numbers. You know, they're just these ancient vampire guys like, we will get rid of the Catholics, we will take down America. And then demographically, they just got smoked. Thanks, love. It's hilarious. Like, the self-hatred in those people is insane.
And you see it, it's not just too with whites. You see Japanese. It's sort of like when a people get to a level of affluence, they want to lemming themselves and go off the edge of the cliff. Like the Japanese aren't breeding as much. They don't have replacement numbers. And they're starting to embrace political correctness. They're starting to embrace ethnomasculine. They're still very far from us. I mean, my brother was telling me recently they imported 25 Muslim refugees because they were getting pushed because they didn't take in any. And then like 7 of them had raped someone within the first week. So they just said, 2 of the 8 or 2 of the 20. And then they said, you know what, you're all gone. So they're still doing very well, but they are showing signs of political correctness, and they are showing signs of this I suck mentality.
Oh, man.
I tried it, and I tried apologizing. I tried self-flagellation, and it just didn't feel right. I just kept seeing all these awesome things that the West has made, and I thought, and it traveled all over the world, and I've lived all over the world, and I go, yeah, Trump is right. These are shitholes.
Shitholes.
Everyone else sucks.
Dude, 100%. Like in LA, the amount of raping going on from illegal Mexicans and muzzies is off the chain. And like the cops won't even do anything about it because the backlog is so nuts. I want to know why the hell it's... Go ahead.
I saw billboards that said no... What's the word for rape in Spanish? It's a weird one, like no trespass. What is it?
Hola. I'm just joking.
It's a word like trespasso or something.
Right.
And there was billboards all over LA just saying that, like it hadn't occurred to anyone. No, that's not it.
No rape. That's wicked funny, dude. We just need better border security. I don't know why the fuck we're not getting it. I mean, I feel like our Congress is totally compromised because this is a no-brainer, and we can't get just basic border security.
Look, the left has decided that this election is all about calling everyone racist. So anything they could possibly do, Stetson hats, border security, racist, Trump is racist, that was racist. The fact that that you see more light-skinned blacks than dark-skinned blacks in sitcoms is racist. Everything is racist. And, God, it's so tedious. And, you know, I when I first moved to America, I was told, basically, the understanding in Canada is that America is run by evangelicals. The White House is all these far-right Christian weirdos. And it's super racist. Basically, slavery was never abolished. And as a Canadian, I go down there, and I just, especially in the South, where it's supposed to be fucking stars and bars everywhere, I just see people hanging out, being really cool with each other and asking each other how they're doing and how their cousin is. And especially in small towns like Abbeville, South Carolina. I did a TV pilot down there called America on $0 a day for Travel Channel, where I just would wash dishes and stuff, get money, and hitchhike to the next town. And all these so-called racist towns, which actually Julia Roberts shot a movie down there, and she called them all racist. And it was because she was seen partying with one of her black PAs. But what she didn't get is the South doesn't like to see a lady getting shit-faced and doing coke at 5 a.m. with some random dude. It wasn't his race. It was that she was being a drunken whore.
That's so true, dude. It's like these people... They get criticized for their horrible behavior, and then they make it into some sort of demographic issue.
Yeah. Well, it's the easy escape. I mean, it ends conversations. I had some woman come up to me in a bar the other day, and she goes, I just want you to know that I have a real problem with you being here. And I said, why are you making your problem my problem? And then she said, I want you to know that what you feel, others here, they don't agree with you. I go, you have no idea what I feel. You don't know what I'm talking about. And she was not listening to me. She refused to talk to me because they just get on that self-righteous, you're racist and I'm not, hate has no home here bullshit. And it's got nothing to do with facts. It really means I'm better than you. That's what you're racist means. It means I'm culturally superior, I'm more advanced than you, and you're lower class.
Oh, yeah, I know. And the funny thing is like if someone said something like that to me, I'd be like, that's why you guys shouldn't have gotten the right to vote. You ruined this country. And she'd just be like, but you're a racist. It's like, what do you say that? It's like, you people, women, should not be able to vote. Like, just go on the total offensive and just be like, I have friends with pig farms. No one finds bodies.
It's like saying, you stupid bitch, you fell for that whole racism shit? You fell for that scam?
Of course.
They tried to sell it to me and my other men friends, and we went, fuck off, shut up. We moved on.
Be like, listen, whore, you're probably on the pill, and that's why you can't smell me or conceive of truth.
You can't smell that I'm a threat to you right now.
That's now go back to your soy boy buddy that you wouldn't be attracted to if you weren't all first trimestered out.
You are dry as a bone down there, aren't you? You know it's supposed to feel moist? It's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to need KY. It's supposed to just go right in.
That's so true. These people probably aren't even properly moist. Gavin, where can people find you? I can do this for hours, but I know you have a family. How's the family, by the way? I forgot to ask. How's the family?
They're wonderful. They're great. Baseball season's coming up. My boy's excited about that. Taking him to a tournament this weekend. My little kids, my youngest 6-year-old's a fucking maniac brat, and my eldest daughter, she's becoming a woman now. It's kind of freaking me out, actually. All I think about is what to say to her boyfriend on her first date. But it's fatherhood. I thought matrimony was bliss, but fatherhood is a whole other world. And everyone who isn't in it, guys, you're in a different dimension. You haven't started life yet. I love the party years. Don't get me wrong. Have a great time. Have fun. But know that you're not really born yet. You're playing a video game. This, when you have kids, that's real life.
Bro, you gave me great advice. You're like, 3 is the minimal. 4, you're a no. What is it? 2, you're a homo? I can't remember.
2 is for fags. 3 is the bare minimum.
3 is the bare minimum. And what about 4? Ideal?
Oh, 4. Now I'm jealous of you. I've hung out with billionaires. I don't care. Celebrities, I feel sorry for them. But a guy with more kids than me, this nagging jealousy is bugging me the whole time.
Bro, I'm the same way. This dude that my buddy and me are working with, he has 9 kids. And I'm like obsessed. I'm like, I can't stop thinking about the guy.
Because it gets to a point with like the 5th where she can help you look after the youngest. And the next thing you know, it's a self-perpetuating machine, perpetual motion machine.
I know.
And you can leave.
That's the one thing the Muslims understand. It's like, as much as they can be threatening, aggressive, goat rapey, they understand that having children is great. They just keep having children. They're not sodomizing each other, apparently.
Yeah, it's and these feminists, these bloggers, these Salon, Slate, HuffPo, Vox chicks, they always talk about like, oh, it stretches your vagina. These weird excuses, or they say, oh, I want to be sitting at home changing diapers all day. A kid shits like once a day. You just scoop it out. He rolls into the diaper. You go shloop shloop with a wet wipe. It takes 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes a day. You're not covered in feces all day. You don't work in the sewers. And the rest is all just alarming levels of cuteness.
It literally is. Like my son and I just pretend fish now with bobbers in like this tiny little stream on my property. And it's like the most rewarding thing in my life. And then like my wife is just having a blast versus it's like, oh, do you want to work in a little office cubicle and get raped all day? Or do you want to like have someone just love you?
You know, my 6-year-old asked me the other day, he goes, I'm driving, and he goes, hey, Dad, is there a dog that's smaller than a crumb?
I love that shit, dude. That's awesome.
No, that would just be like an amoeba or something. That would be maybe a brine shrimp But no, there's no dog smaller than a crone.
Or a Joe Rogan. So I like to make fun of his height.
Yes, I've heard.
He's so
Autism.
small. I'm not going to bring you into that, but he's a unit of measurement. It's 3.66 inches, which is it's a limp Chinaman's penis. All right.
Chinaman's limp penis?
Yeah, a Chinaman's limp. Where can the people find you, Gav? Thanks for doing this. Tell the people.
Defendgavin.com is where you can go for the SBLC thing. Nohate.com is my brother's site where he makes videos against me and how evil I am, which I don't want you to check out. And I'm launching a show June 1st, a new website that's going to be just me behind a paywall doing my own thing. And that'll be, we're going to bank a bunch of episodes. So when we launch, you get a bunch of stuff. It's not just one episode from that day.
Dude, someone just said 3.66 is a pretty good limp.
Yeah, what is that? That's like that? That's not bad, especially in January.
Bro, I'm pushing 6'8". I don't know what the normal man's wiener's like. I'm just...
Look, my dick is so huge. It's a huge burden. I've never really had... I've had so much anal blocked and told no. I could have practiced a lot more sodomy if I had a normal size one. But, you know, I've been to the gym a lot. I've seen a lot of dicks. They're all pretty much the same.
They're very similar.
People spend way too much time talking about dicks. They're all like, meh, 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 meh.
I think the reason everyone thinks Chinamen have little penises is because they have huge pubes.
Oh, huge pubes are playing at Mercury Lounge on Thursday if you want to go. I know the bases.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for doing this, Gab.
They're good. It's like sort of 70s club rock.
Just huge pubes?
It's like huge pubes, yeah.
Dude, everyone keeps saying how legendary your beard is. Just to let you know, you have a lot of beard support.
Well, I've been unemployed for a long time. When I start the show, I'll probably go to the barbers, but I've been going sort of David Letterman-y here for the past couple months.
Dude, you could have a great mustache, though. Should we mustache out of control? I'm about to go back to the mustache very soon, just to set a tone around town.
You should. People will know that you're a cop.
I had a stash for a while. It just kept getting in my food.
Really? Well, mine gets in my wife's pussy to a fault. I don't know why I said that. I'm running out of steam.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming. You're the man. Defendgavin.com, nohate.com, and check out for his new website behind the paywall where he will be able to do his own thing, yo. Gavin Mcinnes, everybody. Suing the SPLC.
Thanks, man.
All right, good having you, buddy. I'll talk soon. Later. All right, guys. That's my man, Gav. Let me just get back here. That was fun. You guys have a good time? I'm going to check the super chats. PayPal.me/feedthebear. And then I'm going to land the plane. He's such a good guy. He's such a funny dude. That birth control thing, right on the money. Let's see who invented the birth control pill. Birth control. Pill. I have some guesses. Who invented Sanger underwrote the research. My guess isn't Jewish, by the way. I should have known. Gregory, the Jews. What, man? 32. Oh, okay. I mean, I should have brought that up to Gavin. So the two Jews who invented the birth, I'm texting him that. So I think the Jew thing makes him uncomfortable. So I wasn't going to push it. Man. Birth control pill invented by two Jews. FYI. Cool. I'm just glad. I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that one. I can't believe I thought for a second it was a wasp. They've been at it for a while. All right, let me read the super chats. Rodney, hey Big Bear. Have you ever considered talking your brother into a different line of work, something less dangerous? Can I be verified as Rod Bear? God bless you and your family. Thank you, Rod Bear. Welcome, Rob.